Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Doug here, Doug Mysticon, Board Game Geek, bringing you our second episode of Wizard Academy, where we are trying to learn and uncover spells and protect the Academy of Wizards against the horrible onslaught from the demons from the outside, which are bringing terrible disasters into our Academy that we have to deal with. We're playing three characters: Bramblethorn, a wizard tree ent, who's a tree creature. We also then have Flitter, who is like I guess like a fairy wizard. She's got little wings and stuff, and then Nevada, who is a human wizard who turned herself into a bear for some unknown reason. But we have a couple corrections. I'm going to do those first, so let's talk about those now. So the first one is right here. We didn't actually when we activated that spot, we didn't actually lose the glyph. It wasn't the imp that activated it, it was the portal that activated. So what I have to do is kind of make a correction. First off, when you have an imp portal in the room and it activates, you place an imp. So there's actually two imps there now. That's what actually happened. It wasn't that the imp took the room, or the glyph rather, and we're going to give Bramble's glyph back to him, which was in, I believe, in his shared space. So that he didn't lose it. That was correction number one. Now, guys, I'm going to tell you, aside from some strategic level mishaps, because I haven't played this game a lot, I played the basic scenario and then this one, I'm going to try and make as many corrections as possible, but I cannot promise you that my strategies are going to always be sound. So I appreciate the feedback, though, and some strategy tips. Much appreciated. So let's get to the second correction. Down here in the Lost Room, I need to remove these two. I don't know why. I guess in the lighting it looked like there was little doorways there, but there aren't. The only way to get to the Lost Room is via teleport. A teleport spell. So we can't get there. It's well guarded, and luckily that's a high-level room or glyph, so we won't need it right away, but there's actually no way to get to the Lost Room, and I think I passed through it before, so I have to remember that. But I also do see that I left, I think when I did some room shifts, I moved these around and didn't quite capture all the spots, so it looks like that, actually. And that'll cover our two major errors that we have to fix. One thing more, and I have to remember that when I cast this spell, I actually could have bound it with itself. So anyway, just a case in point, strategy tip there. I could have bound that spell immediately because I had the glyphs to do it. I don't now, though, so it doesn't really matter. But we're going to get back onto our turns. First, we're going to have Bramblethorn. And you know, the first thing we have to do is activate threats. So as I look at the board, there is no threat in the Horde, and I do not believe there are any threats in the Awakened Room. I am looking around at the Awakened Room. There are in the Cursed Room, which looks kind of like the Awakened Room. There's no threats in the Awakened Room. So this basically just simply gets discarded. We're going to take Bramblethorn's turn. Now Bramblethorn has one glyph. He is in the area with the Cursed Room with the imps. He really can't do anything. He doesn't have any ability to get rid of the imps because he doesn't have enough glyphs to do that. So what we're going to do with Bramblethorn is he is going to go to, his first action is going to be a move action. Then we're going to take a room action, and we're going to take a second one of these glyphs, which gives him two of those, which would allow him to cast a pulse spell. Basically it says, I don't know if this is going to help, all imps, trolls, and demon portals in your room or an adjacent room spawn their respect. That's a bad thing, so we definitely don't want to do that, I guess. So I think the next thing we'll do, we won't be able to pick up the glyph in here because of the Guardian. That's no good. Where do we go from here? I guess we can sacrifice a move. We can do a move room. So we'll do that, and we'll take 3 total glyphs of that kind. So Bramblethorn now has 3 glyphs, so I forgot to get his next disaster. What's that going to be? Discharge. Pack that up so you can see it. The current player immediately casts the highest level botch spell that has been bound. This costs no glyphs. That's going to be chill. So we're going to cast a chill spell next time when we do his disaster. Okay, and that's basically his 3 actions. He's got some glyphs going on. He's got one of those glyphs in his shared area so that somebody else can use it, because we probably will want to do that. We do have a spell that we can uncover there, and Flitter is going to be able to do that. So the first thing we're going to do with Flitter, of course, is look at her threat. Okay, so here's Flitter. We're going to look at the threats. It says activate all threats in the Holy Room, the Library, and the Lost Room. So I believe once again, well, there is a oh no. There is a threat to activate in the Lost Room, or in the Library rather. Let's go take a look at that. Okay, so this is where I really got to pay attention to things that are happening in the rooms that we're in, because we might have been able to move Neveta out of the library and not suffer any effects. We may still not. Let's see. So ice. Now there's an ice token in there already, so we're going to activate ice. That's the active threat. So it says when ice is activated, it freezes nearby water. If two ice tokens are in an adjoining room, or in adjoining rooms, then they are considered to be part of the same block of ice. If one is activated, then they are all activated. When ice is activated, every water token in the room adjoining the active... Okay, well, that's all that happens? Huh. So every water token in rooms adjoining the activated ice is replaced with an ice token. So what happens if we just have... Okay, when a wizard or creature enters a room containing a single ice token, they immediately exit the room via the opposite door. We haven't done that yet. Okay, so that's the special. We got to keep track of that too. So apparently it doesn't do anything with one ice token in there, so we're still okay. It activated, but there are no adjoining water tokens. So the way I read that, unless I'm crazy, the way I read that, it says, yeah, it doesn't. It says it doesn't do anything upon activation. Adjoining room, if one is activated, then they are all activated. When ice is activated, every water token in the rooms adjoining are activated. Okay, are turned into ice. So there's no. That's it. That's all there was. Okay. Whew, good. So that goes bye-bye because there's nothing else. Let's just make sure. Holy Room and Lost Room. No, no. Okay. That disaster goes on by without much event. Now we got Flitter's turn. Flitter is over here in the planar rift. I'm trying to shield the glare for you so you can see that. And it boosts dimensions and enchantments, which each of the spells has a classification. Well, most of them do, and it would boost those. It's not going to help Flitter. But what we're going to do with Flitter, let's see. We can... Yeah, I think we're going to pick up... We can pick up a glyph there, a second one of these. Boom. And then she's going to... I want her to cast a spell, right? Yeah, I do. She's going to move into the workshop. It says play 3 glyphs to acquire a wand matching one of... Okay, no, she actually has 3 glyphs, and a wand will say you may use any glyph as if it were the glyph in this box. So we could put this glyph in the box and say that that's her wand, and that would give her... That's actually not a bad way to go for her. And her special ability is, if it costs you 1 fewer glyphs to use a room action to acquire magic items. So she could just spend 2 of those and still get the yeah, we're going to do that. So she goes in there. So she took a room action, move, room action. Sorry, I had to sneeze. So she's going to do that. And that seems legal. Move, room, yep. You can always sacrifice a magic action. So you can move action and a magic action. You may freely convert magic actions into room actions and room actions into move actions. So we could have done that. We could have said that we converted her magic action here into a room action. She moved and then used a room action. So she's going to spend these 2 glyphs. She still has one in the shared box, and we're going to make the wand that one. So now she's got that. And that was her turn. That was a pretty good turn. Oh, I forgot her disaster. I got to keep remembering to get those out. Water. So we know on her next turn we're going to activate that water portal that's in her room. I don't know if that's a good thing. Let me look up what water does. In the meantime, we'll see how that affects her. So now she has a magic wand. That is good. We'll just be placing a water token in there, so it's not that critical. But now we're going to go on to Neveta and get Neveta's turn done. Now Neveta has no glyphs currently, so we're going to have to get her pumped up. First things first, we got to look at her threats. So her current threats are in the scrying room and the workshop. So we do have a threat in the workshop. Let's go take a look. So there in the workshop with Flitter, we do have a portal. So we're going to spawn a water token there. Now this is bad because if this freeze token activates again, it's going to activate that and freeze it. which will eventually lead to bad things. So the only thing that happens is we put a water token in there. So water is starting to pour through the interdimensional portal into the workshop. Good thing Flitter's not going to stay there very long. But now we have to go on to Nivetta's turn. Okay, so Nivetta doesn't have any current glyphs. So I think what she's going to do is she's going to do 2 move actions, 1, 2, and she can't convert her. She can convert a magic action into a room action. So we can do move roof, we can do move room. So she's going to go down there and collect one of those runes, and that's going to be unfortunately her entire turn. She didn't have that much to do. Oh, let's look at her threat, her disaster. Gotta keep doing that beforehand. So we're going to activate in the outer dimension, nothing there. The mana crystal, nothing there, and the laboratory, which I don't believe there's anything in there either. Nope. So we are okay. So she's not going to have a very impactful next turn either, or from a threat standpoint, unless things happen in between there. Okay, well that was her turn. We're trying to recollect some glyphs. I like the fact that we now have the wand for Flitter. She always has one of those glyphs handy, but well, she always can spend a glyph. She can use any glyph as if it were that kind of glyph. So that's helpful because we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spells that still use that glyph. That's good. And next turn we'll be able to probably pop one of those up. Okay, let's wrap back around. We're going to go to Bramblethorn's turn again. Yeah, I feel like that wasn't the most eventful turn for us, but we're going to do this discharge. It says, the current player immediately casts the highest level botch spell that has been bound. This costs nothing. So, chill. So we're going to cast chill, which is going to do this. We're going to discard that. I'll discard that in a minute. Let's look at the chill spell. This is the highest botch spell. If your room contains no water, no ice or water, place a single ice token in your room. If there was fire, we remove fire. So we're going to take an ice token, which I'll get one, and we're going to put it in the room with Bramblethorn. Okay, here's the token going right here. There's an ice token there because we accidentally cast a chill spell with a discharge of magic. We're going to discard this card, and we're going to get another disaster card out. See, let me just get it in the view for you. Okay, it says activate threats. We're going to activate all threats in the enchanted well in the fixed flux point, which there aren't any, so that's good for Bramblethorn. Now we get to take Bramblethorn's actions. So, first action, well, we are going to cast a spell. So we are going to take the shared spell from Flitter's shared box, which is this one here. I couldn't see it clearly. And we'll take one of these from Bramblethorn, and we're going to cast the second level spell in the Grimoire. Or rather, the second of the first level spells here. So let's see what that is. Boom! Kleptomania. Select another player, take all the glyphs from their glyph collection and shared, and place them in your glyph collection. Well, that's weird. Well, so we just used the last one from Flitter, so the only one that has one of those, and if we had it boosted, it would gain a copy of one of the stolen glyphs. Let's see, is that... He's in the horde. No, there's no boost there for that. And Nivetta. Now, if Nivetta had cast that spell, Nivetta has that symbol. That's the magic school that she's favored to, so we would have boosted that. But what's going to happen is that Bramblethorn is going to collect that glyph as part of Kleptomania. So we do know that this is Kleptomania, right? Now, to cast the scribe spell, we would need 2 of these kind of glyphs, which we don't have. So we can't immediately bind that. However, we can start to get to that point, and maybe collect some more of those glyphs. But in the meantime, we still have 2 more actions to go for Bramblethorn. I think that one of those will be to collect another of these glyphs. Why the heck not? And then, oh, you know what? Well, we can't cast. I think you can't take 2 magic actions. No, you can't. So we got that. We still have a move action, and I think we're going to take that now. And we're going to go to here. Heading back around, I just want to make sure I did a room. Yeah, I did all 3. I did a magic, a room, and a move action. So we're clear on the right actions there. That is going to end Bramblethorn's turn. He's moved into the crystal room. He's making his way down to get some more of these glyphs over here so we can cast those spells. And now we're going to go on to Flitter. Okay, so Flitter's threat is the water. We're going to activate the water portal, which means we're going to take another water token. We're going to put it in the room with Flitter. Now, if the ice spreads at any point right now, it would turn both of those water tokens in there into ice and freeze everything in the room. So that's not happening yet. And that was Flitter's current threat. Let's see what the next one's going to be. Activate in the master study in the cursed room. Well, we have imps in the cursed room. Luckily, no one's nearby that right now, so hopefully it'll stay that way. And now we get to take Flitter's actions. Now, Flitter doesn't have any more of these. I want to cast the bind spell. So, here's what Flitter's going to do. Well, she won't be able to cast it this turn because no one else has one of those. But we could cast another spell. We know where Kleptomania is. So she's going to go here. She's going to move here. She's going to take her next action to pick up one of these glyphs. And for her third action, she's going to cast a spell using, let's see. Yeah, using, no, he didn't actually, Bramblethorn doesn't have that shared, so she can't do that. So she will pick up 2 glyphs, because then next turn she'll be able to use the scribe spell and not have to go to the library. So she will do 2 room actions and get 2. I've got to remember, can you do that? Move? Yeah, move room. You can. Okay. So now she has 2 glyphs. She might as well put one of those in her shared space just in case somebody else can use it. So she has 1 in her shared space, and she's also got her wand. Of course, that's the only kind of glyph she has right now, so she's got to go get some other types of glyphs. And we know where they're at. So that was her turn. And now we're going to move on to Niveta. Now, Niveta has no glyphs again because they were stolen from her. She's having a hard time with that. Okay, let's look at Niveta's threat here. It says, activate all threats in the laboratory, mana crystal, and outer dimension. Well, we know that there aren't any in any of those spaces, so this just goes away. And we'll get her next one, which is going to be Wild Magic, randomize the unbound spells. So, good thing Flitter's going to get rid of that Kleptomania spell before we randomize, because we would have lost its place if that was the case. And then we go to her actions. Another little correction I had to make. It says place a guardian here at the start of the game. That's why I put that in the corner. Duh. And also, now that my lighting is, I guess I'm seeing some things that I missed before, but there is also, oh, there's not here. Forget it. Thought there was a connection here, but it's only this way, so we can't go that way. Just got to go around. It doesn't matter. So we actually got 3 guardians in the corners. We just need to get one in the unstable room. We got to figure out how to do that. Okay, let's go back to Niveta's turn, though. So we're going to do a room action for Niveta. We're going to pick up one of these glyphs. Okay, and then I think we will convert our magic action because, well, could she cast a spell? That makes sense. She could, actually. She's going to use she's going to cast a spell for her next action. She's going to use Bramblethorn's shared glyph and her glyph to cast, or her glyph rather, to cast a spell, and yet another spell we don't know. But we're going to have to try and bind 2 next turn. I think we can pull that off. So the spell we're going to cast is the one that conjoins with here and here, so it's going to be this one. And then these 2 glyphs will go away. Let's see what that is. We know this is Kleptomania. Hopefully, Ward. Ooh, a good spell. Draw the top 3 cards of the room deck, discard 1, and then shuffle the others into the deck. Okay, so we get to discard 1 for the turn. That's going to keep us from having too many problems. That's a good spell. So we know that Kleptomania and Ward, we want to get both those bound next turn, so we have them. But let's go do what it's asking us to do. Here's the location deck. We're going to draw the top 3. We got the Cursed Room, the Awakened Room, and the Flux Point. Well, I think we're going to shuffle the Flux Point and the Awakened Room back in. We're going to discard the Cursed Room because there's actually a lot going on there. So I discarded that, and I shuffle the rest back in of the location deck. Pretty cool spell. It helps us avoid some potential disasters. That's good. So if we have to randomly draw a room and we draw the Cursed Room, we won't draw that. It's been discarded for now. So that is a good thing. All right, and that was the second turn. So she moved. She cast it. No, she moved. Or yeah, she moved. She picked up a rune. No, she didn't move. She picked up a rune. She cast a spell. So she could sacrifice. Because you could do a room magic, right? No? I don't think so. Actions, you can do magic. She did her magic, but she can't do a... can't do a room action. Oh, you can do a room action into a move action. So she could move, but she can't pick up another... She can't do the room now, because she did her magic action. Can't convert the move action into a room action, right? That's right. Okay, so... Well, let's... I don't know what moving her is going to do. I can just sacrifice it. I don't think she's going to move. Hopefully that water portal in the workshop doesn't activate. I don't know if it will or not. But she's going to stay there in in the well so that she, now there's a room ability there, gain a glyph of any type that you already possess. See, and she didn't have any, so it's not going to help her. Okay, well, let's continue on. That is Nivetta's turn. Let's move back around now to Bramblethorn. Okay, Bramblethorn's threat is going to be here. You can't see Bramblethorn. Move him up there. No, you still can't. It's okay. Activate all threats in the Enchanted Well in the Flux Point. There aren't any, so that's going to go bye-bye. And well, we'll discard that and draw another one. Let's see what we get here. Terror is going to be the next one if there are no threats. So we're going to... Bramblethorn's going to have some darkness come into the room on his next turn, and then we're going to go into, now we don't have any shared runes, but we do have 3 runes left. We know that it's the ward spell that's in that spot that she can cast currently, or he can cast. Let's move him around though. Bramblethorn's turn is going to be fairly easy. She's going to go 1, 2 into here and use a room action to pick up one of these runes, boom, and you'll put it in a shared space so that somebody else can use it, and that is going to be Bramblethorn's entire turn. Remember, we're collecting runes, we're getting things done. Flitter's got a lot of stuff that's got to go on. I don't know that, can you pull off 2 magic actions, or can you just get 1? What does that ability do in the laboratory? I think it's another, let's see, let's room action, move 1 element token, fire, water, or ice, into an adjoining, well that could be helpful. That might actually be helpful because then we can stop the ice from hitting the workshop. Might use that action actually. But we are first going to use, we're going to do a magic action first. And for the magic action, Flitter is going to cast these 2 tokens, use these 2 tokens to cast the Scribe spell. The Scribe spell is this one, and it says perform the library bind spell action. And we are first going to bind, not the Kleptomaniac one isn't that terrible, so, but we're going to bind the ward spell so we don't lose it. So she is currently bound the ward spell. So we have that up, so if it, when the wild magic thing comes and we shuffle the 2 remaining spells in the first level spell deck, it won't be ward, and that's a good thing. Okay, then, so that was the magic action. We got a room action and a move action, or a couple of move actions. I think we're going to actually take the room action. Yeah, we'll take the room action for her, and we will move one of these water tokens away from the ice so it doesn't, well, I don't know if that helps or not. I think it does. We're going to move it into the awakened room. There, I think we'll do that. That will, because that way there won't be something that freezes us in here and if the ice hits. And it might, so it's hard to say. Except, wait, her next, well this is going to be her curse next turn, is all threats in the study and the cursed room. So yeah, I guess did I do her threat? I don't know that I did actually. So let me go, hold on, I'm going to go back. I don't think I did her threat, did I? Let me go look in the discards. I think the last one I did was yeah, I did not do her threat. Her disaster. So let's do that real quick. I don't think it's going to affect anything. We'll see. Master Study has nothing in it, and the Cursed Room does. So the Cursed Room just means that an imp is going to pop into the portal there. Activate threats, and we're going to activate imps there. So that it's not going to impact our characters immediately, but there are 3 imps in the space. And we activate the threats there. Let's look at the imps. All of the situations, draw a location card. The imps move. The imp moves in the direction indicated by the lowest numbered arrow that leads to the adjoining room. Okay, so the imps are going to start to spread out. So let's get the location deck out and draw for imp number 1. Boom. It's going to go towards the awakened room, so the imp goes that way. The next imp is going to go south to the library. Boom. And the next imp is going to go south toward the library as well. Boom. Okay. And that is it. So we got imps starting to spread out from the portals. Okay, and then I got to draw another disaster for her. Glad I remember that. It says activate threats in the planar rift in the unstable room. Okay, now we're done with her turn. She's done everything. Well, she cast a spell. She used the room action, and she picked up a glyph. Right? Cast spell room. Yeah, that's she could move, but I don't. I could move her over with Bramblethorn, I suppose, and pick up one of those glyphs. She can use, yeah, you know, she can always convert one of them to these, so she's going to use her last action to move there. Okay. No, wait, she cast a spell. She cast the Scribe spell. Yeah, okay, that's fine. We're going to do that. She picked up the rune to cast a spell and then moved. Yeah? Tell me if I'm wrong. If I did, I shortchanged her. Okay, let's move on to Niveta. Niveta has the Wild Magic. Wild Magic says randomize the unbound spells, but there's only 2, so I'm going to collect those. We're just going to... I don't know what they are anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Oh, well, one was Kleptomania, so we could have ended up with the Kleptomania spell somewhere else. I meant to cast them before I call it again, I guess. Well, I can do that. Now, Niveta has no runes. She's down in the bottom room there. So she's going to take a room action, which will get her... I'm going to get another one of those runes that she's in there with her. She'll get one of these runes, so she takes a room action. Boom. Oh, let's get rid of her Wild Magic card and see what's next for her. Another Wild Magic card, so that's okay. And then she could do a room move, or whatever. And in that one it says gain a glyph of any type that you already possess. I mean, it's the same thing. So she's going to gain another one of these runes, because we got plenty of spells to cast with those still. She'll gain one of those. And then she will use her last action to move to the workshop. Maybe she'll get her wand. She doesn't have enough runes yet, but maybe she'll get the wand. Yeah, I think that's going to be it for her. So, that will end her turn, and let's move on. I feel like I did Flitter's turn wrong, but we'll come back to it. Let's move on and look at Bramblethorn's turn now. Bramblethorn has a lot of spell casting ability, which is good for this turn. We're going to get to cast a... Looks like for our first level 2 spell, which would be interesting, and then we can have Flitter bind it, because she's got the right rune to bind anything. Okay, if there are no threatening darkness tokens, place a darkness token in a random room. So that's what we're going to do. Let's go get the darkness token and the location deck. Okay, let's see what random room we're going to put that in. The flux point. So the flux point is down here. We're going to put a darkness token in the flux point. That means we have spawned that, but that's all that's going to happen. Not a big deal. And then we're going to draw another disaster. For Bramblethorn, it's going to be activate in the warded room and the cursed room. So more imps will spawn. We have Imp Haven there. And now we get to take Bramblethorn's turn. Bramblethorn is up in the laboratory, and I believe that Bramblethorn's first action is going to be to cast a spell. And I believe that spell is going to be, yeah, we're going to use 2 glyphs. We use this one and this one. What is the room ability? Oh, to move the thing, which we did last turn, yeah. We're going to cast these 2 glyphs, and that is going to allow us to to look at a new spell. Wait, no, we already do know that spell. That's the one that we really like. That no, we haven't done that. We haven't done any. That's gonna be our first second level spell. So let's go do that. Gotta bind these spells. I'll tell you that right now. Let's look at this. Boom. Deface. Oh, it's a botch. Select the glyph type. At least one wizard has. Everyone. At least one wizard has. Everyone loses glyphs of that type. If it's the right school of magic, then each wizard only loses 1 glyph of that type. Okay. Well, that's a bad one. That's a bad one. All right, but that's deface. We got to remember that deface is there. Deface. Okay, I think that is going to be it for spell casting. So then we're going to take a room action. We're going to gather up another one of these, so we have it. I think we'll put this glyph in the shared space because we got a lot of spells around this one still. Actually, we got a lot of spells around all of them. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll put that in the shared space. But let's see. Last action for Bramblethorn. We have no way to destroy any threats in particular. It's not good. But I think Bramblethorn will then move back into the Planar Rift room. Wait, Planar Rift is going to... No, there's no threats there, so it's okay. Yeah, we're good. Okay, and that is going to be Bramblethorn's turn. So, Next turn, you know, we're going to be... Did I draw? Yeah, I did draw her disaster. It's activate all threats in the warded and cursed room. Next turn. Yep, okay, good, we're good. Alright, now let's go on to Flitter. Now, Flitter is going to have a couple things happen. We are going to bind a spell, but we're going to first do this. We're going to activate all threats in the planar rift and the unstable room. There are none, so that's going to go away. And we're going to draw the last cards. We're going to have to shuffle back in. Imp Invasion. Activate the imps. If there are fewer than three threatening imp portals, place an imp portal randomly. So the first thing we're going to do is activate our imps. Okay, let's take a look at that, because that's quite a bit. And I think poor Nivetta is going to get it again from the imps. Or almost got it last time. We'll get it this time. So we're going to first activate imps. So let's take a look at that. We know that that's not fun, right? So imp activation says in a room with a glyph source. Neither of them are in a room with a glyph source. In a room adjoining a room that contains a glyph source or a wizard who has a glyph. That's Nivetta. Move into a random adjoining room that meets these criteria. Okay. That's the only thing that's going to happen, because they can't do... If they were already in the room, they get to steal something. So they're not in a, so they're just all going to move here. Boom! They all go rushing into Nivetta's space, looking to steal glyphs from Nivetta. Okay. Then that was the activation portion of it. Now they don't get to steal those yet, luckily, but they are going to. We're going to spawn. So if there are fewer portals. Fewer than 3 threatening imp portals, place an imp portal in random rooms. So we have to do that. Let's draw the random room. It's going to be the awakened room. So we're going to get a portal out for imps. We find those, one of them, and here they are. And we're going to put that in the awakened room. That's a bummer. It's right next to, there's portals popping up all over the place. There's a portal, nothing happens there. I got to go look and see if you summon an imp. I don't recall. And then activate the imp portal, which means we're going to summon an imp right there. All imp portals. So we're going to have 2 imps appear again. Man, they're going to go crazy. We've got to get something that can take out these imps, don't we? And we're going to have to do a shuffle, which means we're going to take the next 2 disasters that we haven't placed in there yet. It means tougher ones. And we're going to put them into the deck. I don't know what they are yet. We're going to shuffle the deck up. So our disaster deck just got a little bigger, also got a little more bad. Yeah, so let me get this shuffled, and I will be right back. Okay, so Flitter's next disaster, what is that going to be? An imp invasion. So Flitter is imp crazy right now, but we're going to get to take Flitter's turn now. That's a good thing. So we have first thing she's going to do is use her wand, actually. She's going to use her wand to convert 2 of her glyphs. I guess these 2 glyphs to the symbol that she has in her wand, which is this one, so she can cast the bind spell. And so she's going to use those to cast bind, and we're going to bind that deface spell. So we know what it is, and we know where it is. So there, boom! I'm binding that. It's our first level 2 spell. So she has that bound now, and that means it will not be used against us. I could have also cast a spell to see where the Kleptomaniac spell went, but I didn't do that since we knew where the deface was. That was important. Okay, and that is going to, let me see, that she did that was her first action. So for her second action, she'll pick up a rune. Get a rune. Now, she doesn't have any reason to pick up those other runes anymore, because she can always convert things to those runes. She's going to pick up one of these runes, and then she will, we got to get to some of the other glyphs too. I mean, the problem is that 2 of our glyphs are stuck in rooms with golems, or guardians rather. So that's rough. But what we can do is, I hate to say it, but I don't think she's good. She could take that room action again. She cast a spell. She took a room action to pick up a. No, she doesn't have another room action. She can only move. Does she want to move to the unstable room? Because we can use that to do things too. I don't think so. I think I think she's going to stay there. There's no way for the imps to get to her right now. She's just going to stay there. I hate wasting an action, but there's really no other action for her to take there. So, I mean, she could move to the unstable room, but I don't know what that's going to do for her. She's not going to use it. And she can still continue to gather glyphs and bind spells, which is really useful. Because remember, every 2 glyphs she has, she can do a bind. She can, because it's not just once. It says you may use any glyph as if it were the glyph in that box. So she can continue to sit there and bind spells as we learn them. So I think that's what she's going to do. But she will put, I think she's going to put this one in her shared space, because we can share that with others, and there's a good reason to do that. Okay, let's move on. We're going to move on to Nieveta. Okay, let's do that. And then after we do that, we will call this a day. This has been a good set of turns. So we got Wild Magic here. Let's look at Wild Magic. It says randomize the unbound spells in the highest level set of spells. So it's going to be level 2. Okay, well, let's go do that. And I'll just pop it up. Okay, let's do this. We don't have any unbound spells, so I don't know what any of these are, so we'll just take these 3 and shuffle them here. Boom, like that. We'll take these 2. We'll take these 2. Because I don't know what any of them are anyway. It's not like I'm not gaining anything there. And so that is going to be the Wild Magic Disaster for Nieveta, and then we're going to have this one instead. Activate all threats in the Horde and Awakened Room. Well, we do have a threat in the Awakened Room now. It's an Imp Portal and water. So that could be bad. Now we're going to go on to Nieveta's turn. So for her first action, she is going to move. She's moving back to here. Then for a second action, she's going to use the room action to pick up another one of those glyphs. Boom. And then for her third action, she's going to cast a spell. It is going to be... No, that's not true. She can't do that. Well, she can, actually. She can borrow the one. Nope, she can't. Bummer. She cannot cast a spell. So she's got 3 glyphs. She could take the room action, gain a glyph of any type that you already possess. I would give her 4 of those, and she could put one in her shared space. Let's do that. So she got a 4th one of these instead. Well, she moved room. Right, we can do that. We just can't cast. Okay. Now she's got 4 of those. She's going to put one of these in her shared space for another character. And that's going to end her turn. And let's end the session for there. I'm not sure if I messed up Flitter's turn or not. But if I did, let me know. See what I can do about that. And guys, I really look forward to continuing this playthrough. It's a lot of fun. Talk to you soon. And let me know again if I'm making any bumps and bruises along the way. There's a lot of complexity in this game. So it's getting more complex as we go. And more threats are hitting the board. But we've built up to a pretty good momentum right now. We got a lot of spells out. We've got to refine the Kleptomaniac spell and continue to cast spells until we get some good ones. We do have 2 good ones, Ward and Scribe. Those are good. And even the Chill spell could be a benefit if we end up with a lot of fire. We just haven't yet. So there we are, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I really appreciate it. Help me. I'm thinking about doing a... I didn't even think about it, didn't realize it, but I passed 3,000 subscribers a while ago, and I didn't do a contest for it, so I think I'm going to give a game away. I will announce that in the next video for this, so if you're still watching this late in the game, make sure you tune in next time, because I will announce some kind of giveaway contest for something. We'll see what that is. So take care, guys, and I'll see you next time.